Dear Black people, I know I talk about community a lot, but above everything I say, set yourself up for the best possible life you can. Take everything I tell you and put it into your treasure chest for your life plans. You come before everything. Sadly, this very idea has been beaten out of you. You come first. Before God, before wife, husband, before children, before parents, before family, before friends, before country. In my book, if you bow to anything else before you, you have committed the worst sin ever. Think for a second. What good are you dead? What good are you if you're a useless piece of trash? What good are you if you let others walk all over you? You are no good to this community I keep preaching about. You're not good to your God. You're not good to your wife, husband. You're no good to your children. You're not good to your family. And you're no good to your country. Ironic, when you're on an airplane and they're doing the emergency demonstrations, what do they say when they get to the part about the oxygen masks dropping down? They say, put it on yourself first. Isn't it sad that they have to tell people this? Isn't it just outrageous that they have had experts sit and think of what to tell people in an emergency, and the experts felt it so important that they had to tell people to first save themselves before trying to save anyone else. Why? Because people in the U.S. are just that stupid, that they need someone to tell them this. Hey, dummy, save yourself before saving your kid. You have seconds to live. You are in the best position to save those around you. Save yourself first, and then start saving those around you. I find this example a prime example of what Black people have been told to do. The opposite. Blacks have been told, you want to be good. Being good means serving others. Sacrifice yourself to serve others. The best Negro is one that has sacrificed himself. This is repeated in school, church, the media, entertainment. It is even repeated when you hear countless stories of people doing this. It's in all the movies. Let me jump in front of a bullet to save my child, friend, wife. The next second, the shooter, monster, police, criminal, shoots the child, wife, friend. Anyway, let me just address the whole religion thing just for a second. I'm going to go off script here. If you believe in God and your perception of God is that he created everything and he created life, and that God as a creator, as a maker of things, is life, why in the hell would he want you to sacrifice yourself? In the Catholic religion, the ultimate sin is taking your life. Why? Because you're doing like 3 different sins all in one. You're taking life. You're taking your own life. You're setting yourself in the position of God to take life. And you're committing murder right before you die, from which you cannot repent or be forgiven. So it is a one-way ticket straight to hell. And I think that is a very healthy outlook on the whole idea of suicide. That suicide is the most heinous thing that a human can do. Second only to abortion, where you're murdering your unborn child. I don't care what. I don't care. This is not the PC channel. This is the truth channel. I don't care what people have told you and convinced you that it's your body and that's your, Screw that noise. You are murdering a human. And I don't care what the circumstances are. You want to hear some circumstances? I believe in the 70s or the 80s or the 60s, before my time, they had an entire national campaign talking about adoption. And in the campaign, they showed you all the presidents of the United States who had been adopted. This is way before Barack Obama. All the presidents who have been adopted. And the whole idea was, don't be ashamed of having been adopted or being adopted or adopting a child, because you can still reach the pinnacle position in the United States, which is president of the United States, which is supposed to be or used to be the most powerful position in all of the entire world. Why am I talking about that in conjunction with abortion? The whole idea is that life circumstances do not matter. And a lot of people talking outside of their neck who aren't economists, who have no idea of history, who have no idea of how societal economics, macroeconomics actually works, right? You hear these people talk about those poor people shouldn't have children they can't afford. Well, it's been the left who have thrown the economics of how things should really work in a free market actually goes along. The United States was a country full of poor people. So the people today talking about poor people having children that they can't afford are literally talking out of sheer ignorance and stupidity and idiocy. We want poor people. The more poor people here, the better. And you know what? The more poor people in Africa, the better. The more poor people in Asia, the better. Why? It's because the poor people do the crap that we don't want to do. Like, take care of our crap, clean our crap. And I literally mean poop. I know it's a horrible thing today and it's not politically correct to say, but poor people clean crap. We want more poor people. We don't want less poor people. Ironically, and I know they talk about Black people, they want to have this total idea or identity of Black people as being just horrible people. Oh, Black people are so horrible and they're so poor. Only 20% of Black people are actually quote unquote poor. First of all, I've dedicated my channel to making sure that you understand, realize, and see firsthand middle-class Black America. Only about 20% of Black Americans are quote unquote poor. And the word poor doesn't mean what you think it means. It doesn't mean the commercial that you see about, oh, please donate to these children. And you have you see the Black African child with the flies flying on its eyes and stuff, right? They still have those commercials, which is so crazy to me. I've lived in Africa. I've lived in mansions in Africa. Mansions. I've had servants. I've had armies of servants at my beck and call. Africa is not the terrible place that they put it on the commercials and stuff. We want more poor people. And I don't care if anybody else hears this. Black women do not have abortions. Your stupid ways of being a slut or a whore, and I'm only talking to the single moms who slept their way into single momhood. I'm not talking about widows. I had somebody who came onto my channel talking about, well, my dad died. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking about you who got an inheritance when his father died and your mom and dad were married and he happened to die. You have nothing to do with the damn video. If I'm talking about a whore, I'm talking about a whore. Your mom has nothing to do with this. Your life has nothing to do with it. Stop trying to take shame for something that you have no part in the story. I don't even know why you would even do that. Why would you come to my channel and say, oh, how dare you say that my mom was a good mom. She was married and my dad died. The facts don't apply to you. Not even close at all. If I'm talking about a whorish woman that has 12 children by different fathers, that's who I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a widow. I'm not even talking about a divorcee. Am I? I'm talking about a loose woman. So here's my statement now. Even if you are a loose woman who has 12 children, I'm telling you, go ahead and have the 13th. Do not listen to these idiots who have no idea about economics. The black community needs every damn poor Negro they can get their hands on. Do you know that the United States is still rolling in the dough of slavery? Rolling. Trillions of dollars. Today it's trillions of dollars from slavery. What does that mean? That they had people at their beck and call to take care of crap. They happened to be black, and nobody could say, you know what, there's really absolutely nothing wrong with black people. We're just identifying them so that you would accept slavery into the country. But the economic idea is still there. We want poor people. That's why they're trying to push forth this whole let the illegal immigrants in, because they want poor people. And they don't want to accept black people now. Isn't that ironic? They don't want poor black people because of this whole white supremacy racism. And this is institutional racism. They still do not want, because Mexicans are in fact white. I know that people, oh no, it's Spanish mixed with mestizo Indian. No, who cares about that? They're white. Indians are not black. I don't care what you say. I want you to have every child that you possibly can. And if you listen to your religion and you believe that God is life, then that means that you cannot commit the sin of abortion. It's a sin. Murder is a sin, and you are murdering your child, your unborn child. A human is created by a man and a woman having sex, and the sperm entering into the zygote, I believe it's called, the egg, and it forms into, maybe it's the zygote, it forms into a single cell that then grows and grows and grows, and then pops a baby. That's how a human is formed. I don't care if you abort it the first day with your morning after pill. I don't care if you abort it on the 9th month. It's still murder. And anybody trying to convince you otherwise has a very sinister plot against you. From 1970, 50 million African-American babies have been murdered inside of the womb. That needs to drop to 0 as of today. Why isn't this Planned Parenthood? Because it's mainly black people who are targeted for abortion. Do you think if little Susie were down there getting an abortion that they wouldn't have already dealt with Planned Parenthood? And now Planned Parenthood is actually committing all sorts of crimes, selling organs. Selling organs is illegal. It's like on the highest chart of stuff medical science cannot do. Selling organs. If that's the case, then we would have rich people living forever. Nobody wants that, do they? Supposedly rich people have to get in line just like everybody else. If we allow the selling of organs, rich people will live forever. And I'm not talking about theoretical. I'm talking about reality. Black people, black women, have all the children you possibly can. It will help. I'm talking economy. I'm not talking about welfare. I'm not talking about any of that crap. I'm talking economy. Poor people in the United States, listen to me now, do not remain poor. If you catch somebody who remains poor, they're an idiot. And I'm not trying to be PC here. I'm telling you the truth. They're an idiot. Well, I just can't find a job. You can find a job. You mean to tell me that Syrians are walking from Syria all the way to Germany just to get out of the way of a bullet? Hold on a second. Think about that for a second. They don't have to go all the way to Germany. Why are they going to Germany? Not only because of welfare, but because they can get a job in Germany. Yes, that's what's going on. That's what's really going on. So you mean to tell me you, as an American, you can't walk to your next day? You know, there's people all the time who are on the news for walking across the country, walking around the world, getting on a bicycle and traveling with luggage. Well, he can't find a job. Move to Texas. Move to North Dakota. I'm being serious now. You can't find it. I'm talking to everybody, black, white, blue, green, but you can't find a job, move to North Dakota. Not only will you get a job, you will get a high-paying job. We're not talking about this minimum wage crap. Black women have as many children as you possibly can. it will help the black community. It will simply bolster everything that I'm talking about black community. Your community has been completely decimated. A Holocaust is being perpetrated on the black community. 50 million have been murdered. We're talking about just abortions. Just abortions. Go back 1970, and we're taking all the 1-year-olds all the way up to 60 years old who were untimely murdered. And it's probably another 50 million. And yet the black population today is 45 million. You have had Holocaust visited upon you. You need to have every child that you possibly can. That is your duty as a woman. That is your duty as a human woman. I'm talking black, blue, green, whatever. That is your duty. I told you I'm a humanist. I believe in human life above all else. Black people, you come first. You personally. I'm not talking about the black community. I'm not talking about Christians. I'm not talking about American. I'm talking about you. Elizabeth, Victoria, Aaron, Liz, Fantasia, Barbara. You come first. I'm sorry, Damien, Jeff, Matthew, Matt, Brian. I'm listing off my friends on Facebook. Liam, Pa, Donald, Les, Hatem, Kathleen, Brittany, Landon, Sophia, Devontae, Kevin, Cordier, Olantunde, Blake, James, Chris, Nate, Nero, Tobias, King, Sandy, Robert, Jonathan, Clifton, Anthony, John, Zoo, Muhammad, David, Tennille, Crystal, Dre, Freddie, Sage, Alan, Jonathan, Mercy, Hawa, Nagus, Derek, Lizette, Massimo, Corey, Anthony, Sean, Bryce, Yep, Linnell, James, Tracy, Leroy, Jay, Najaliwa, Sinclair, Vershantis, Troy, Audrey, Sarge, LaTroy, Jean, Marcus, Kingsley, Jay, Nicole, Eric, Mario, Maurice, Whitney, Abdul, Prince, Deshauna, Shalama, Carla, Roger, Monica, Ricardo, Candy, Sandy, Raw, Trinice, Alexa, William, Michael, Jonetta, Dave. You come first. You. Above everything that I've said, you come first. Stop sacrificing yourself for others. That is not the way, even if it's your family. Now, I read to you in one of my financial videos. Now, they have noticed this on Wall Street, that black people aren't as rich as other people because the poor side of the black family comes and says, oh, Eric, I see you making $50,000 a year. Could you just spot me $5,000 so I can get my car fixed, so I can get my house up to I'm about to lose my house. I'm about to lose my car. They're about to turn off the lights. Whatever it is. I'm sick in the hospital. Now, of course, everything that they say is legitimate, right? They're not talking about, Wall Street isn't saying that the stuff that they're asking for isn't legitimate. They're saying that they are coming to you, Eric, Cordier, Aaron. They're coming to you. Jethro, for whatever reason, doesn't go to George and ask George for $5,000. Does not. For whatever reason. It's not a thing in the white community. It's a thing in the black community, and it's such a thing in the black community that it has decimated wealth in the black community. The net worth of black people is lessened by the poor family members coming to the wealthier family members, and the wealthier family members giving the money away. Let me give you a for instance, and this is a prime example. My roommate, who's white, took some friends to Salt Lake City, we'll say. Anyway, the quote-unquote friends, I told him they weren't his friends, did drugs, did all sorts of stuff, and then insulted him, attacked him and stuff. Now he's the driver. So he packed up and left. I applaud that wholeheartedly. But then they called him and said, this is all your fault that we're here. Send us $150 for a bus ticket back. Now, these are grown men. Everybody's grown. My roommate is 40-something years old. These other people are 30, 40, whatever. These are grown. Everybody's grown. And he sent it. And now he's in the hole with his bills. And I said, dude, first of all, I said, don't send the money. He sent it anyway. And then he comes to me and says, can you pay my power bill? I said, well, I'm going to take it off of the stuff the money that I give you, but okay, I'll pay it. This is what's happening to a large degree in the black community. We're not maintaining our wealth. You come first. So if Leon comes to you and says, hey brother, I know you got it. Could you give me $5,000? And you say, Negro, you are 35 years old. What have you been doing since age 18 to 35 that you now need to come to me and ask me for $5,000? What? Why are you not taking care of business? If you had been taking care of business like I have been, you would need to be asking me for $5,000. You would be giving me $5,000 gifts at Christmas. Yes, we need to say this type of stuff. It is a thing in the black community. It is not a thing in the white community. Even Wall Street said that they analyzed it and found that this was a thing in the black community. It is not a thing in the white community or any other community. Mexicans send money home to their own family. We're talking about husband to wife, stuff like that, or taking care of their children. Peep this. Not only does Mexico do this, everybody else in South America does this. And guess what? But wait, there's more. Africans do it to such a degree that the Africans in the United States send more dollars back to Africa than all of the foreign aid that America sends to Africa. More. By 50%. So when Bush and Obama talking about, we need to sign an aid package to send to Africa, they don't need an aid package. You need to lower the taxes so the Africans who are here can send even more money back to Africa, and it'll go into hands that actually know exactly what to do with the money and not go to line some dictator's pocket that the CIA has set up in Africa to begin with. Do you understand what I just said? I know that's probably too deep for a lot of people, but hey, you black people, you are number one. Ignore everybody else that says different. Your Father, which is in heaven, is a God of life. He is not a God of death. He does not want you to die, and he doesn't want you jumping in front of bullets. No. The guy who jumped in front of the shooter and took him out in Oregon or somewhere, he did the right thing. He didn't jump in front of bullets. That wasn't his intention. His intention was to take the shooter out. That's what you need to do. Oh, you about to shoot me? Okay, no, we're not having it. Just like Ben Carson said, we're not having this. We're going to take you out right now. I don't happen to have a gun, but I'm going to take you out. And he surely did. God bless him. God bless America and all that. But he did what he had to do. And you need to do what you have to do first. And if that means that you're tough on your family members coming and asking you for money, you can give them all the advice that they need. And if they don't take the advice, like, the people who say, I can't find a job. Okay, have you sent out 1,000 resumes? Have you? That's all you have to do now. Have you filled out everything on the internet? We have internet now. You don't even have to leave your house. You can get a good paying job, and you don't have to go work at McDonald's. People, all of you. You don't have to go to work at McDonald's. You might have to work much harder in the sun, but trust me, you're going to get paid more than McDonald's. Black people, you come first. Period.